Hello everybody, this is Wes with A1 Comics, back again with another one of our weekly comic book update videos. If this is your first time joining us, thank you so much for giving us a shot. Again, we do these videos weekly where we go over a little bit of comic book news from the industry, from back issue trends to new comics to look out for in industry news. We do a little bit of everything that kind of covers the hobby in general. So hopefully you get something out of this video. Hopefully you're entertained. And yeah, we would love to hear feedback. We really do appreciate it. We are going to be putting out these videos again weekly. So keep coming back, subscribe, leave a comment and a like. We appreciate you guys so much. There's been some fun news this week to get into, so I'm going to go ahead and just get straight into that news right now. In back issue market news, again, we've seen some of the effects of the Spider-Man No Way Home trailer. Now that it's been about a week since it was released, we've seen where some of the dust has settled, so to say, on some of those keys. And certain keys have been impacted more than others. One of the interesting things is we saw the market really kind of peak in May with certain keys where things have leveled out a bit, but certain books such as Amazing Spider-Man 14, The First Green Goblin, has definitely been one of the hotter books of the hour due to the surprise that we saw, spoiler, Green Goblin teased in that trailer. A blue chip book that we're seeing a lot of interest in as far as a very notable sale right now on Comic Connect at the time of writing all this information. There's a Hulk 1 8.0 CGC that is set to break a record in the grade, going for over $120,000 in an 8.0. That is going to be an all-time record, and it's definitely probably going to cause a little bit of a trickle-down effect in some of the lower grades. Hulk 1 is a great book. It's one of the big Marvel Silver Age blue chip books, so it's really exciting to see that. I think that you're definitely going to see some of the lower grades get impacted once that hits the market. Once this auction ends, which is set to end today, I think there's a few more hours to go, so who knows where that book's going to land. But yeah, really exciting stuff for that book. Again, another blue chip book, but a great one to talk about, which is Fantastic Four 1. Recently, a lot of books have leveled out as far as making some of the substantial gains we were seeing earlier in the year. But Fantastic Four 1, if in every grade, we're actually seeing it trending upwards. Even recently, it's one of the books that basically set Marvel on the course that really made it the Marvel we know today. So it is a huge book, great book to own. I know it's a little bit out of most people's price range, but just an interesting thing to touch on. Also in that Fantastic Four run, a book that is very notable right now is Fantastic Four 52, First Black Panther. That book is trending upwards. In fact, at the time of writing this, it was #1 on the Silver Age for Go Collect. And it's also just, we're seeing a lot of high sales in different grades for that book. So T'Challa is getting some love. Great to see. A really fun character that I love, and I know a lot of people love it as well. We're still seeing a lot of interest in Batman villains. Batman 171, Silver Age Riddler, first appearance of Silver Age Riddler, Batman 181, first Poison Ivy, books like that for the first Silver Age Scarecrow. All of those books have seen a lot of collectors chasing them lately. And that Poison Ivy book, I will touch on a little bit of industry news in just a moment, why that may be slightly affected, but they are always good books to have. Batman's Rogues Gallery is one of the best and definitely highly collectible. And again, not to kind of repeat myself from previous weeks, but a lot of the Warlock keys are trending. They're very hot books right now. Makes a lot of sense. It's actually surprising that it's taken as long as it has for those books to heat up the way that they have. Again, we know it's just a matter of time before we see Adam Warlock in the MCU, and that's going to be a lot of fun. A bit of back issue market news that hasn't hit yet, but it has been announced that's going to affect the market is there's an Amazing Fantasy 15 and a 9/6 that Heritage has been announced that they're going to auction on September 8th, so very soon. That's a absolutely mammoth book, and where that book lands definitely can affect other Amazing Fantasy 15s, and also just it's the kind of book that is going to send a lot of waves outside of the community, and possibly draw in new interest in comics if it breaks records, which I would be surprised if it didn't. And that is it for back issue market news for now. Again, there's been just hitting on some of the highlights. There hasn't been anything other than the stuff that I touched on that really is of note as far as anything unusual. We're continuing to see books that, even though they have pulled back a bit, they are much higher than they were as far as the value a year ago. I think we had things spike, level out a bit. And again, if you're collecting things that you like, you're going to be in a good place. I think that just be careful. Again, it's a hobby, enjoy it, have fun with it. I think that comics, the back issue vintage comics are in a very healthy place, and they're going to continue to be that way for years to come. In industry news, we had a trailer for the DC Fandom event, the second year of that being a virtual event that's going to showcase some of the DC properties that are coming out. That's going to be October 16th, and we had teased a little bit of stuff involving the new Batman movie, also the Black Adam movie, which The Rock is doing a great job getting people excited for. So it's going to be really exciting to see those new properties. Hopefully DC has a strong showing with those. It will be great to see some of those movies really hit well with audiences and critics. I would love to see both of those movies turn out great, and also some other properties that they haven't shown yet be revealed at that DC Fandom event in October. Marvel Comics revealed 8 new tentpole style comic series that are going to be coming out late 2021 and early 2022, kind of in the same way that they've done the MCU reveals, where they have a timeline showcasing how they're going to be revealing, or how they're going to be releasing MCU properties. They're going to be doing a similar thing moving forward with some of the comic properties. They did this also as part of a way to celebrate the company's 82nd anniversary. So it's an interesting way that they're going in the future with comic book releases. They're also wanting to they're pointing out the fact that this is going to kind of shape the way that they do things in their comic book universe. So we'll see if they have as much success doing that in the comic space as they have in the video media space. Season 3 of CW's Batgirl is fast approaching, and there was recently a bit of information dropped that Bridget Regan is going to be playing Poison Ivy. So that was a character obviously that's highly anticipated. So for the fans of that show and for the fans of that character, it'll be interesting to see how she's portrayed on the small screen. On Twitter, James Gunn revealed that we could be seeing another Suicide Squad member. He teased that we might see them in the new Peacemaker spinoff show with John Cena. He didn't say who, but he definitely kind of dropped some hints that we might be seeing another person, and he ended it with a little grimacing emoji, hinting at maybe he should say no more before he gets into any kind of hot water. And that is it for our brief rundown on industry news. We're going to go ahead and move on to the next bit of news. In comics to look out for this week. From DC, we've got the Aquaman 80th Anniversary Special #1 coming out. Also, we've got Batman Fear State Alpha #1. It's a mouthful. So some good number ones coming out from DC this week. From Marvel, we have Dark Ages number 1. We also have a Ultimate Fallout 4 facsimile. So a fun way to get your hands on that title, you know, for reading and you know, collecting for people that missed out on it when it was on the rack or it's too pricey at this point. From Peach Momoko, we've got Demon Days Cursed Web number 1, the fan favorite artist, and that is it for the Marvel titles to look out for this week. From Indie Comics, from Aftershock, we have Almost American number 1. Really been enjoying a lot of the Aftershock comics. I talked about it last week, but I love We Live. So it's interesting to see what they do with a new number 1 from Aftershock. From Bad Idea, we've got Monster Kill Squad number 1. Bad Idea has been very interesting in their marketing approach and the way that they release books. But yeah, so that's another interesting book to look out for from a very interesting publisher. From Boom, we've got Basilisk number 4, a really cool paranormal supernatural title that I've enjoyed. We also have We Only Find Them When They're Dead number 8, a really interesting title with a lot of beautiful artwork, both cover and interiors. From Image, we have Walking Dead Deluxe number 22. We have Spawn 231. We also have Undiscovered Country number 15, so a lot of great titles coming out from Image this week. And from Dynamite, a publisher we don't talk about too often, we've got a Red Sonja number 1. There's a lot of different covers for that title, and so for you Red Sonja fans, that's a really exciting book. So yeah, some great titles coming out this week. That will do it for comics to look out for this week. So again, thank you guys so much for joining us today for this video. Again, keep an eye out for future videos. Please like and subscribe. We're gonna keep bringing great content for you guys. And you know, if you guys can leave us some feedback, again, we appreciate it. We definitely take everything you guys say into consideration. We hope you are enjoying this hobby, having fun with it. That is important. Collect what you like, have fun. It's comics. So again, thank you guys from A1 Comics. If you haven't checked out our Instagram, our social media, check us out. We do live sales on Instagram every week on Wednesday and Friday from 5 to 8 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. Thank you guys so much. Have a great rest of your week and enjoy comics. This is Wes from A1 Comics signing out.